got this chest for free from a friend of mine, and since you can see it has some custom paintwork from some previous owner, I don't feel too guilty about trying to clean it up and turn it into a treasure chest, even though it's going to lose all of its historical value if it had any at all. I don't think so.
Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile, honey.
Oh, yeah.
It stinks. It stinks. Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
So I discovered pretty quickly why this chest was given away for free. It has a acrid, sharp, pungent smell inside that honestly is hard to compare to anything in your normal life. My theory is, since this is a generator chest, that there was some fuel spilled some 80 odd years ago inside, and it went rancid or whatever, and just permeated in the box for decades. The first order of business for this project is to check this chest for lead. Because of its age, there's a chance that the paint is lead-based, and I don't want to mess around with safety if I'm going to be sanding on this thing or doing whatever. So I bought some lead test kits from Amazon, this little Q-tip. You dip it in vinegar, and then you rub it on the surface for some, 20, 30 seconds, and then you can check the little indicator. Here the swab is dirty because I sanded the paint, but there's no lead. To check, if the swabs are working, I actually have some lead that I had melted for a different project. And you see here I'm rubbing it. You can actually see it darkening already, but I'll compare it to the test strip here in a second just to be 100% sure. So this is a good sign that the paint is not lead-based, so I can safely do my sanding and whatever other things I need to do on there without health concerns. Here's the test. Obviously much darker. Definitely lead. We knew that. I'm going to remove these interior partitions to make the chest just one big open space, and they're riveted through the outside of the box, so we'll be getting to cutting those off. Man, that thing just did not want to let go, and that's why. One more rivet hiding behind one of the pieces of wood, and I didn't see it from the outside because it's a shared fastener through the hinge there. So let's get rid of it. This handle looks pretty good. This one, not so much. I'm gonna have to try to clean this up a bit, but honestly, I'm not going for perfection here. This is gonna be kind of a rustic chest. I'll be filling all the rivet holes and a few other various damages all over the box with this Bondo filler. For this rivet through the hinge that got removed, I'm just going to try to simulate a rivet using what I've got on hand, which is a nail and one of the rivet washers that I cut off from one of the other rivets in the box. Should work well enough. It doesn't really need it for strength. I just don't want to have a hole there and look like something's missing. Here's the results of my homemade rivet from a nail, and it looks like it belongs with its friends and neighbors, and so that's 100% good enough. Here's a quick tour of the box with all the holes patched up and ready to start cleaning it up. To try to address the horrible smell in this thing, I'm going to just completely drench it in 409 and give it a good cleaning and see what that'll do. Now that all the prep work is done, we get to move on to the satisfying and fun stuff that actually makes it look good. The smell inside the box has improved quite a bit, but it's still unpleasant to the point that I wouldn't want to put anything of value in here because it'll just end up stinking. So what I'm doing now is a really generous coating of water-based polyurethane to try to kind of seal in the flavor of this box, if possible. Even after all that cleaning, painting, polyurethane, there's still a smell in the chest. The lid doesn't smell at all, but there's a smell down in the bottom. So my thought is, as I said previously, I think fuel spilled and probably went into those gaps there under, at the bottom of the box. So I'm going to seal those up and see if that solves the problem. We're finally on to the best part, the vinyl wrap of the box to make it look, the thing is made out of wood, but try to make it look like it's made out of nice wood, not just, crappy old plywood or whatever the military used to make this thing with. This box looks too new and fresh, so I'm gonna do a black wash to do a few things. It'll conceal and seal the edges of the vinyl as well as make the box look older. I do like the metal tags that came in the box, so I'm putting those back in on the inside, and I'm gonna relocate the tag that was on the outside into here just so that it stays with the box because they're interesting. Also, stupid camera's out of focus. Now that this treasure chest is complete, what kind of treasure is in there, you ask? Well, precious metals, lead and brass, of course. So I gotta say, I'm very pleased with how this turned out. I had an idea of what it would look like in my head, of course, but reality doesn't always work out like your ideas, but this one turned out pretty good. And the sealing those gaps with the caulk did actually get rid of the odor, so that's great. I can actually use this thing. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and check out the B-roll or the glamour shots, whatever you want to call them. Thanks.